Okay, so welcome to Satsang. As you know, you're welcome to pose whatever questions or comments during this meeting by speaking your question or by writing it in the chat box. I will also be answering whatever questions will be posed on the YouTube channel, although for some reason I'm not seeing that. Let me see. Okay, right. So that's fine now. Yes, it's fine. So our true nature is peace, inner tranquility. What we refer to as the body is a vast, transparent space. Which we refer to as the space of awareness or presence. This space-like quality of presence has no center. And meaning it is nowhere and it's everywhere. Its center is nowhere and everywhere. Free of any sense of limitation. So the contemplation, this inquiry, is about the inquiry of what am I The reason for this inquiry is because, for whatever reason, there is an assumption, a belief that I am something, I am somebody, I am in time and space. And because of this belief, we feel limited, contracted, and we feel like we are subject to numerous conditions. And this impression of limitation and this impression of being conditional and conditioned is unhappy, is what in the Buddhist scriptures they refer to as suffering. And there is a way out of this impression via your inquiry into what is it that truly is, what is it that truly perceive, what is the reality of my experience, what am I truly. This inquiry, this questioning is available to you, and no one can do it on your behalf. It is your task, so to speak, to look into the belief structures that have infiltrated your psyche and infected your body-mind. It is via the contemplation of the false, the inquiry into what is it that is real, that the false beliefs are deconstructed, not only out of your understanding, but out of your entire being, because you are being, you are beingness itself. If you look carefully at the activities in your life, in your daily life, it could be even in this very moment, I'm not sure, you will find that there is an ongoing stream of thought about me. And most of your activities are subject to this ongoing stream of me thoughts and me feelings. And this ongoing stream of thoughts about me as a person, me as a good person, a bad person, a successful person, whatever, this ongoing stream of thoughts and feelings maintains itself by tricking you in not looking at it, by tricking you in not examining it, not pausing and looking at it and questioning it and wondering about it. But as soon as you start to question and wonder about the stream of thought, you will come to whom, to what does this thought refer to? And you will find that it refers to me, always referring to me. And when you look at this me, because you do have to look at this me, otherwise it's assumed. When you look at this me, you will only find a transparent space in which images, thoughts, memories, feelings, sensations arise. This open space, this borderless space is overlooked. And the attention is captivated by the thoughts, the memories, the emotions, the feelings, the sensations. Via the senses, you are mesmerized by the appearances and the space, the borderless space of awareness is somehow overlooked. It is overlooked because it is not an object. It is neither a gross object, neither a subtle object. Not being an object, it cannot be perceived phenomenally, like you perceive an oak tree in the yard, or like you perceive a bodily sensation, or like you perceive a thought. The fact that it cannot be perceived phenomenally does not mean that it cannot be known as I, as my very self. So the journey is a journey of self-knowing, of knowing myself. Not knowing myself phenomenally, but knowing myself directly, not via thoughts, not via perceptions, not via sensations, but via the self itself. The self knowing itself via itself, which is referred to as self-knowing. In this self-knowing, as this self-knowing ripens and matures, the impressions of being somebody, of being a body-mind in time and space, start to thin out and become more transparent, and in time, dissolve. Hello, Bo, you right? The experience of this mind-body now is serious challenges and problems I don't seem to be able to fix. Though I am not the mind-body, and there is a peace when I ignore the practical experiences, they seem very real for all practical purposes. Yes, Bo, in the world of the body-mind, there are various situations, sometimes daily, weekly, monthly, whatever, that arise, that pertain to for example, to food, shelter, and clothing. They pertain to work, to livelihood, to paying the bills, to dealing with situations at work. They're food, shelter, and clothing situations. And that applies to all creatures. It applies to all human beings, and it applies to the animal kingdom. During the drought in the south, the elephants migrate to the north, to greener pastures. Upon waking up, the lion or lioness have to go out to hunt in order to feed themselves and feed their cubs. the seed that sprouts has to turn its way towards the sun in order to get sunlight, in order to be fed and to be nourished. So there is a certain dynamic in that realm of vis-a-vis food, shelter, and clothing. And that occurs in the animal kingdom and in the vegetal kingdom. It appears without emotions. But for human beings, it is infected with emotions. We suffer. We have, as you say, problems, serious challenges and problems. Like a tree, for example, when the tree gets a fungus or is broken by the wind or loses a branch, this occurs without any psychological, at least so it seems. But for the human beings, when there is something that occurs with that, to their health or to their wealth, they feel a tremendous internal turmoil and suffering. And this is inevitable for the human quality, the human race. It's inevitable to suffer because there is an identification that we are all subject to, the identification of I as consciousness, I as presence with the body-mind. So anything that occurs to the body-mind is experienced as it's happening to I. And therefore, we experience the sense of danger. And we struggle with that. We struggle with that also even when we say something and people don't smile at us. They don't approve of what we said, or they don't laugh at the joke that we said. We feel that something occurs within us because we are not getting the recognition that we expected. Sometimes even we have some expectations about how we want our partner to be, or how we want our children or our parents to be, how to behave, and how we want them to be with us, to recognize us, or how to be with each other, or how to be in their life, how to live their life. And we experience unhappiness when it doesn't work out that way. And it's inevitable for us to suffer because we are identified. We're identified with our family. We're identified with our body. We're identified with our things we own, with our car, with our house. We're identified with our tribe, our culture, our country, our religion, whatever. There are so many, but the core identification is we're identified with this body-mind as I am this man, I am a man or a woman, I am this person. It may sound ludicrous, but it's possible to be free of this identification and to be living with all sorts of dynamics in the body, maybe ill health or good health, or situations at work, or in situation in your country, in your surrounding, in your neighborhood, with your neighbors, or in your village, without it being a serious challenge and a problem, something you need to fix. Now, of course, there are things we need to fix, and we do our best to fix them. And it may work or may not. Is it possible to be free of the consequences? To be free of the goal? Of course, we strive towards a goal, but it may go in a different direction. Is it okay? Can things unfold in other ways than we had planned them, than we had worked on them, and still be okay? Because it will happen invariably that things will unfold whichever way they unfold. Is it possible to simply be free of whatever is unfolding? It's very difficult to be free of what is unfolding when you want them, you're really attached, or you're sort of stubborn or persistent on wanting things to be in a certain way. Because then you are contracted, you're tight around the objective. I'm not talking about, hey, have no objectives. No, but have the objective, do your best with it, but remain loose, remain flexible, remain unexpected, or remain fluid with how things appear, how things arise. And so you can adjust, make a different move when you are called to make a different move, or when you perceive that, okay, it's time to make a different move. Not to remain so rigid around your ideas and your beliefs and your notions about yourself, about your family, about your work, about the political situation, about anything. There's grace in remaining open, flexible, and inviting. You need to take a look at what's at the root of your unhappiness. Only you can find out, because it's your business and it's happening to you, within you. Life is, at some level, it's a play. It's not about surmounting obstacles. It's not about fixing problems. It can happen, of course, but it's more to it than fixing problems. To enjoy, to celebrate. But in order to enjoy and celebrate life, you have to see the lightness of it. What makes it so heavy? What makes it so serious? is to ask yourself this question in real time. Is it so important for me to want things to be that way? Want things to be. And my images about myself, just to see through the images, so many images about myself, about others. Of course, images about myself are very beautiful. And my images about the others who approve of me are very beautiful, but the ones who don't approve of me, they have bad images. It's all this nonsense. While all along we have available to us this magical moment of presence, this moment that cannot be described in any words. That's life itself, in real time life itself, that is not occurring in time. It's occurring in the eternity of presence. There is joy in this freedom, and the freedom from the past, freedom from the future. Bo, you're right, thank you. I'd like to remain in a surrendered spaciousness and just trust the unfolding of life. I'm not sure what else to do anyway. Yes, Bo, you know, that spaciousness is what you are. You are this spaciousness. And life that's unfolding is your very being. You are this life. You're not apart from this life. Look at it right now, in your experience right now. This very perception. Can you notice how intimate it is? Not by thinking about it, but notice the intimacy of this perception. Like the intimacy of breath. If you can bring the breath and the perception together. So you inhale this perception, you exhale this perception. Your breath and this perception are so intimate. And the you that perceives this perception and the perception itself. Where is the perception? Isn't the you and the perception itself intimate? Notice the intimacy in your experience. Notice the intimacy. So you can notice that you're not apart from what is happening. And then notice that the spaciousness is the spaciousness of being. It's not like some spaciousness out there. It's the spaciousness of being, your very experience of being. You are being, beingness. And being is spaciousness, the spaciousness of awareness. And you are this awareness. You know what I mean? You're not standing apart from it. It's not like there is awareness somewhere and you are somewhere else. You are this awareness, and awareness is spaciousness. So yes, rest as that spaciousness. Recognize the spaciousness that I am, and rest as that. Meaning, just in the recognition of that transparency, that spaciousness, that borderless presence, that in itself, within that recognition, is the restfulness. It's like there isn't like there isn't like somebody resting. It's more of a recognition, like a recognition of the restfulness of presence. And yes, you can trust that, because that is directly your experience. You don't need to trust any thoughts about this or that. Because thoughts are a dime a dozen. You can trust that. Not the thoughts, but your experience of presence. Okay. Okay, yes, hello, Lori. Any questions? And also, like, just scan your body every now and then. Just scan your body and relax. Notice where there are some tensions within your body, some holding on. Not some psychological tensions, but some actual, go to your body, like your legs, your thighs, your chest, your arms, your shoulders. Whatever tensions you notice, whatever contraction you notice, just relax it, release it. So you also are somatically clearing within your body these places that are contracted. It's a sort of work you can do anytime. Laurie, you're right. I love the psi quality of spaciousness. Yes, the psi. Yes, so true. A deep relaxation into presence. Yes. It's like an internal, like it's very gentle rain. Like imagine a gentle rain is sort of is raining within your body, and as it's raining, it's sort of gently washing away whatever places there are in your body where you're holding on. You can also use the breath, like the breath, like the rain flowing through your body, gently relaxing, releasing whatever places you're holding on in your body. Any questions?
Magdi?
Hello, Zoe.
Hi. I just wanted to talk some about just noticing what's happening. I wrote you a while back about, these, I guess, mind experiences. You had a Buddhist term for it, like hearing a voice outside of myself during meditation,
Yeah, not
or
you.
seemingly.
Yeah.
But now, it's like this awareness that everything arises within me. And even, you apparently, you and all these spaces, everything, it's all arising within me. And so this whole concept that something special had happened with, back when I was meditating, I thought, oh my goodness, I'm hearing this voice outside. Well, there's nothing outside.
Right, right, right. There is nothing outside, because if you look at your experience, you only find intimacy. You don't find something outside. Even the thought tree out there in the yard, even that thought is arising within you.
Yeah.
And when you look out in the yard and you see an oak tree, you're looking in that direction, that perception is like this perception. It's arising within you. There is an intimacy in your experience. Your experience is always complete intimacy, which is referred to as Advaita, non-duality. That's
Yeah.
the fact of our experience.
It's just delightful.
Yeah, the fact of our experience.
Yeah. And
It's
I'm getting
delightful.
I'm getting an echo.
Our experience.
Anyway.
Yes. It is delightful. It's and our true nature, the self is delight. Satchit Ananda, the Ananda aspect of the bliss aspect of being knowingness. There's a blissful aspect to that. Yeah, it's delight. The delight is it's very interesting. I'm reminded of this the story of this fellow who used to carry a backpack full of stones, on his back. I think I shared that with you a few times as a metaphor. And 50 pounds of rocks in his backpack. And at one moment, a friend of his told him, "Hey, what are you doing? Why are you carrying these stones?" He says, "What stones?" He says, "These stones on you. Let go of your backpack." So he put it down. When he put down his backpack, he felt so light. He was like jumping with joy and like so happy. Felt like he's a butterfly, you see. He was so happy to be, And a couple of months later, his the friend who had told him to take down the backpack runs into him into a coffee shop. He's having a cup of tea. Says, "Hey, hello, how are you? How are you feeling?" The guy goes, "I'm feeling good. How are you? Everything okay?" "Yeah, yeah, she's okay." See, the euphoria that he had experienced when he took down his backpack full of rocks lasted whatever, a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 6 months. But then he returned to his natural state of being the self. So it is delightful, and when there is an insight, we feel, oh wow, how wonderful, how delightful. But then after a while, it becomes our natural experience. We are, like Francis Lucille used to say, we're too busy being happy. We're too busy being happy to notice that we are happy, something like that. So yes, it is delightful, but delight and peace and well-being is our natural state. Oh, okay. Well, if you lost the connection, Zoe, Tara, tell me you lost the connection. Can you hear
I
me?
did, but I think I heard the major part of it just coming
Okay.
back on. Yes, thank you, Magdi.
Okay. Otherwise, as you know, there is the recording. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. When you look directly at your experience, it's always the best time to look is right now. When you're looking right now at your experience, everything you experience within you, but not just within you as like an object is arising within you, but in complete intimacy. So the thought that you perceive is arising within you, and yet the distance between you and the thought is zero. There is no distance. The bodily sensation or the feeling that you're experiencing or the emotion you're experiencing, whatever it is that you're experiencing, You don't experience it out there somewhere. You experience it within you. But you experience it so intimately that there is no distance whatsoever between you that is experiencing the feeling and the feeling itself. There is no distance. It's so intimate that it's dissolved in itself. The I is not a separate subject experiencing an object out there. That is a model, but it's a false model. That it does not, it's not verifiable within our experience. Our experience does not support this model. Our belief supports this model that I am a body mind, I am a male in a body mind, I am this object, and there is the world out there. But that is not our experience. And you have to examine your experience. You have to look at it. Nobody can look at it for you. You have to probe into it. You have to look at it. And the best time always is to look right now. You're always looking right now because there is no other time. You cannot postpone it for tomorrow because there is no tomorrow. It's always real time now. The tomorrow that you're waiting for is just a thought that's arising for you right now. And it's arising in complete intimacy. There is nothing that is a part of you, apart from you. And the you that you think you are as an object is just an idea and a feeling. The feeling that's arising within you is intimate with you. And when you look for the feeling, where do you go? The feeling of being somebody, the me feeling. I'm not trying to deny it. But what is it? You have to go to it. To go close and close, complete intimacy to that me feeling. Where do you go? And if I want a tomato from the kitchen, I walk to the kitchen. I go in that direction. But to go to the me feeling, where do you go? And what is it that you're looking for? The tomato is a round object, color red, with a green stem. I can describe it to you. But the feeling, how do you perceive it? How do you describe it? Or the I. When you go to find the I, the me, when you go to find that, where do you go? What is it? What is it that you go to? And what is it that goes? What is it that is looking? What is it that is looking for the I? These are very rich questions. Pose these questions and hang with them. What is it right now that perceives? What am I right now? What is this I right now? Is it definable? Can you deny I? It's undeniable. You cannot deny I. Whatever the I is, presence, beingness, awareness, you cannot deny something versus nothing. There is something versus nothing, which we call I, the I am. You cannot deny it, nor can you find it as an object, nor can you deny that you are I am I. Yes, I am I. What is it? Is it something that is born? Some thought may say, there may be a thought that says, well, I know what I is. It's something that happened in 1958. Baby was born, and that's the I. That's what thought will say. But we're not looking at what thought says, because thought is infinite. There are billions of thoughts, all sorts of beliefs. Rather, I look directly at my experience right now. What is this I right now? Any questions? Jean Pak, I see your question on the YouTube channel. You say, "Hello, Magdi. I am new to this group and this practice. I am grateful for these sad songs. I would be grateful for your insight on my issue. I have difficulty letting go of this lifelong mental habit. Others do not like me, or I have nothing in common with others. It causes a social anxiety. I experience peace when I am alone, but find difficulty when I am around others." So, Jinpak, first, I would like to share with you that each one of us, all, I don't know how many billions human beings we are on this planet, we have some sort of issue or many, many issues. So you are not alone. Now, it it may sound a little cruel, but sometimes situations that arise for us, that are psychological situations or life situations that arise for us. In your case, it's a psychological situation. They are not meant to make you suffer, but they are meant to make you inquire, to bring you to the inquiry. And it's really beautiful that you are asking this question, because it means you are coming to the inquiry. You're looking at this. You want to know. Now, if you go to many therapists, they will give you many methods and techniques to how to deal with your issue, how to relate with people, and how to navigate conversations, etc. But that is not what I share here. So I will not be sharing with you some psychological ways to improve yourself. But what I would like to invite you to look at is this image, or this bundle of images that you are concerned about. Because there are images of, of yourself, of jinn. There are images of jinn. And these images, you cherish them. You believe them that they represent you. And some people have an image of a very powerful me. Some have images of a timid me. Some have an image of a bad me. Some have images of a defective me. Whatever. these images, you try to fix them, to improve them, you will spend lifetime after lifetime after lifetime dealing with them. Sometimes the best way is to look directly at them. These images that you take yourself to be, that you want to improve so that you get into better relationship with people. These images are not what you are. In the way we live, we have images of each other. I would have images of myself, images of you. I would have images that I'm imagining you are having of me. Sometimes we have images, we think the others are perceiving us in a certain way. And then later on we realize, oh, that was not true. They didn't have any image of us, or they had a different image. There is so much mental projections internally around ourselves. And they're like a spider web inside of ourselves. So many beliefs, so many ideas. Oh, I'm too short, I'm too tall, my hair doesn't look good, my belly doesn't look good, my teeth, my this, my aura is not good, God only knows what. All sorts of nonsense thoughts are flowing through our minds. But we believe them, you see. And we have a lot of judgments of each other. We judge the others and we judge ourselves. How happy is that? It's miserable. Of course, we all want others to love them, and we want to love others. We want to, because love is part of our human quality, this sharing, we are a social animal. It is normal for you to want to be in relationship and to socialize and to enjoy your company of your friends. But it's very difficult to do so, Jin, when you are having images of yourself and when you're imagining images that others are having of you, and when you have images of others. It's very difficult to be in relationship when you have all these images. You have to let them go. You have first to see them and let them go and expose yourself to be as you are. And as you are in this very moment is so beautiful because you are presence. You are not any image. And you know, if people are having images of you, or some people having images of you, you don't have to buy into them. It's their business. You cannot do the work for other people. You can do the work for yourself. You can look within yourself at the images that are arising and wonder, hey, wait a minute, that's just passing clouds. That is not what I am. What you are is not any image. Every moment that an unhappy thought arises for you, it relates to an image. As long as you have some image of yourself, some ideas of yourself, it is impossible to be free. Freedom is freedom of the images, freedom from the images. Happiness is image free. It's pure, transparent love, beingness. Like the breath, how transparent the breath is. Mm. Yeah. Let it go. Let it go. Be fresh every moment. Look at that. Don't judge yourself. about succeeding or failing. Don't worry about success or failure, and don't worry about other people judging you, because there will always be somebody judging you. That's how the human mind is. That's their business. Some people love to judge, and they're so miserable and unhappy with that. Sooner or later, they will get tired of it. But you, right now, don't judge yourself. And of course, don't judge others. Explore. Is it possible for me to be fresh this moment without knowing myself? You don't need to know yourself. You know, like children, when they go into the park, how they play with each other. They never met before. They play like they've known each other for 30 years. And they never met before. Adults is so different. You know, judging each other, measuring each other, assessing, you know. Goodness, such a mess. So I invite you to first notice the images within yourself and let them go, like they're passing like clouds. Don't define yourself, remain undefined. And don't define others, so you can meet them without having boxed them. Of course, when you notice a certain relationship that's not going good, you can deal with it, leave it, or if you can, try to have a conversation around it. If you can't, you can leave it. You will be amazed how much you will be attractive when you are not a person, when you are not full of images. And of course, with people, as I said before, don't be judgmental of them. Give them their space. Allow them their faults. Allow them their tendencies. We're all at different points in the journey, but it's the same journey. So we have compassion for each other. And you know what Jin also, he says, others do not like me and have nothing in common with others. You know, what others do not like me, what is this me? They're images. You are defining yourself as a me. Take a close look at what do you mean by this me? And also you say, I don't have much in common with others. Well, there is one thing we have all in common, which is presence. And in fact, we also have many more things in common. We're all made out of the same elements. We're all living on the same planet. We're all breathing the same air. We're all experiencing gravity. We're all experiencing the weather. We all experience hunger. We all experience tiredness. We all experience emotions. We have so much more in common. Look at that rather than saying we don't have much in common. Don't block people out. And don't worry about them liking me. They don't have to like you, because what they like or dislike is an image, and that is not what you truly are. Sooner or later, they will wake up from this dream. But in the meantime, you can let go of this me image by looking closely at what do I mean by me. Because the very fact of me restricts others. I am like this, I'm not like that, which is all nonsense. You are neither like this nor like that. So do the inquiry about this me that you are referring to, and everything in your life will follow suit. Okay, Jim, thank you for your question. Any questions? So I will take this opportunity to remind you that there is a retreat in Costa Rica from April 6th to April 11th. And all the details are available on the meetup group. All you need to do is go to the meetup and type in Advaita, and you will come to my site, and the details are there. Well, it's very beautiful to be with you in silence and in presence. I thank you for your lovely company. And okay, Andrew, very blessed to be with you, and Esther, Holly, Ola, Jenny, Kate, Gabby, Zoe, very lovely to be with you. And for the folks on the YouTube, very lovely to be with you.
Thank you, Magdi.
Thank you, Magdi.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, Magdi.
Okay.